Well, hello. It has been a minute since we've been together. First off, if you've never met me before, my name's Kim Myers. I'm one of the pastors at St. Andrew United Methodist Church. And back in COVID, we started this online Bible study. And so I thought through the month of July, we could reconnect and see where it takes us, see if this is something we want to do again. Maybe it's just we've moved past it, and that's okay too. Little tidbits about me. You will see Skipper, our dog, jumping up in the back here. I've been married 22 years to Dan, and we have two boys, an 18-year-old who's going off to A&M. And I know somebody just said giggle out there. It's a thing. I'm getting used to it. Or whoop, or howdy. I don't know. Nothing against A&M. It's just a very different culture. And I think it's going to be amazing for my son. I'm just slowly embracing it. And then we have a 16-year-old, Dylan, who will be a junior in high school. This summer, we're doing this study from Shanua Niequist called Savor. And it's just talking about how to savor the moments that we're in. It's really what we're going to talk about today. But before we get there, throw in the comments, what would be your superpower? There's this kid that worked at the convenience store by us, and he used to always ask this. He would kind of loop sometime his conversations, and he used to always ask, okay, what would be your superpower? And he had the most unique answer. He said he would be able to modify DNA so that he could make people better. I was like, that's a tricky one, because there's a lot of good that can go with that, but there's a lot of bad. He's like, I never thought about that. I think I'm going to go basic with my superpower. I would love to teleport places. Just blink and I could go somewhere. Like blink, I'm back in Belize. Our family took an amazing vacation this summer to Belize. And we came back, and I'm still a little sad about it, to be frank. But, okay, so let me know what your superpower is in the comments, and I will be engaging with you there. Okay, today is July 11th, and the study in this is called Being There. And it focuses on Proverbs 17:6, which is this. Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of the children is their parents. So here, I haven't really spent a lot of time in Proverbs, mainly because it's full of like little tidbits of wisdom like that, right? Boop, there's a little tidbit of wisdom. So I spent a little time studying what Proverbs is and why it's important to us. So King Solomon wrote this. So King Solomon was the son of Bathsheba and David. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second. I believe he was the third king of his time period. He was very wise. And so this book, if you read Proverbs, and spend some time, it's interesting. It really is an interesting book. The first half of it explains to you why it's important. So 1 through 7 lays out the foundations and principles about Proverbs and about wisdom. I couldn't put another word in that little thing below here, right here. So I just decided to. So it's like principles about, I'm leaving you hanging, wisdom. So essentially you read this and it will make you wiser, okay? And it just lays out the foundations and it lays out, but y'all, I was thinking about this. I'm going to try to share my screen. I'm not the best at this. Let's see. Share screen. Okay. Share. Let's see. Oh, I have to do system preferences. Anyhow, I just did like a screenshot of like Proverbs. Let me see if I can throw that up there for you. Of all the different things. Like it's just like wisdom after wisdom after wisdom after wisdom. And it, hold on, my kids aren't used to me recording. I hear somebody moving upstairs. So like, here it is. Like, look at this for a second. You just see like, better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Boom. Next one. A slave who deals wisely will rule over a child who acts shamefully, and they will share inheritance as one of the family. Next wisdom piece. The crucible is for silver, the furnace is for gold, right? It's just like boom, boom, boom. Let me see if I can show you more. It's very interesting, the wisdom, especially since this most likely was written in like 10 BC-ish. This is just verse 17, okay? So here's the rest of it. Hold on. Oh, I just added the wrong one again. It's like I haven't done this in a long time. Let me try one more time. If it doesn't work, we'll move on. All right, so here's the rest of it. It's just interesting. One who begets a fool gets trouble. The parent of a fool has no joy. Cheerful heart is good medicine, but a downcast spirit dries up the bones. Like, it's really interesting to me that this wisdom from 10 BC is actually very real and relevant to us now. So, back to the study. She talks about the relationship that she wants her children to have with her parents. I am super lucky in life. My parents live in town, and we've lived close the whole time. And so they have always been a constant in my kids' life. Dan's parents live in town. It's just, I grew up opposite. I grew up where my grandparents lived in Pennsylvania, and right before FaceTime and cell phones, we talked maybe once a week. I don't even think that much on the phone. And we visited once a year-ish. They'd either come here in their RV with their big Newtons, I remember that, or we'd go visit them in Pennsylvania, and like I'd see fireflies and like get to play outside because it wasn't 108. But they weren't really a part of like my daily rhythm. Like on Grandparents' Day at school, family friends came with us or something like that. And so I thought it was just an interesting way that she talked about how her family both like annoys you and drives you crazy, yet at the same time gives you wisdom and guidance, especially like into your children's life. I love, my favorite thing in the world is the relationship my kids have with their grandparents. It's really cool to just see the absolute joy that my parents, I'll just speak from my parents' perspective, or what I believe is their perspective, absolute joy that they have with these boys. We have all boys on my side of the family. My sister has 2 boys also. And just the way rules change once you're a grandparent. So if you're on here and you're a grandparent, I want you to know, I grew up in a household where sugar cereal was a nay-nay. No, never. Like, Mom, can we get this? I don't even know why you're asking. Like, we had Honey Nut Cheerios was the most sugary cereal we could ever get. So just stop asking. And usually we'd always go to the day-old store, and like that's where we'd get a treat or something like that. But off-brand Honey Nut Cheerios, end of story. And then my mom liked Frosted Shredded Wheats, so for some reason that was allowed. Anywho, no sugar cereal. Then my children come into this world. They were the first grandkids. And lo and behold, there's like Fruity Pebble Puffs and Lucky Charms and whatever else they want. Fruit roll-ups. Oh, fruit roll-ups? Never. Because guess what? Rules change when they're your grandkids. You can love them, spoil them, and send them home. We used to always say when they were little, like we had to just de-grandparent them. It took a whole 24 hours to be like, all right, you're back here now. You have to listen to us. Now, my parents had expectations and that kind of stuff, but you can be a little loosey-goosey because they're your grandkids. But you also can impart the wisdom in a way that parents can't. I just realized I'm still telling y'all to say hi and I'm about to get started. But for example, we recently had like an open house kind of party for our 18-year-old who graduated high school. And I just loved watching my dad hold the court. Like he's just sitting on the couch and people are just swimming in his stories. And I noticed that one of the ladies swimming in his stories had lost her father this past year. And I think she really, really enjoyed, and I'm putting my emotions on this, she didn't tell me this, just listening to the dad, the grandpa. My dad can tell stories for probably 3 years straight without even taking a nap. And some of them are great stories, and some of them are stories that I've heard so much I don't really find the wisdom in them. But man, I'm gonna miss them when they're not there. They're a part of the rhythm and the life. When my sister got married, her husband Brian, we were like putting Brian towards my dad, like, go listen to all the stories, and then you can officially be a part of the family. But his stories are unique and special to who he is and who his life is. And that's where this whole King Solomon came in. He wanted to impart wisdom to others because it was a gift that he had been given, right? We have to remember this is 7 to 10 BC, where like reading and research, and you gained wisdom from others giving it to you, imparting it to you. You didn't go to the library and study. You didn't Google something. I mean, I look up here and I probably have, I don't know, way too many books, lots of them. I read 4 books this past week or 2 weeks ago when I was on vacation. Like, we have knowledge coming at us at all times, which there is little wisdom in here about what to do with too much and who to listen to and all that kind of stuff. What was it? Beginning of strife is like leaking out water. So stop before the quarrel breaks out. That's verse 14. Let's go back to this though. She says at the end of this devotion, when we break from our busy routines, we can have conversations and share experiences with our family that would never happen otherwise. When was the last time you made space for these moments? I think that's important because we don't really connect and pause like we used to like be present. Dad has had a couple of years of cancer diagnosis, and he's actually doing really good. But I remember thinking, all right, we're not going out of town for Thanksgiving. I'm going to make it a point in trying to have lunch with him more often. Just having that connection point. Both of my parents are in their 70s. My grandparents didn't make it out of their 70s. So like in my head, I was like, all right, this is it. And then as the years have ticked on, I've just kind of slowly let go that energy and the importance of connecting with them. And I think that's part of, right, this Christian community that we talk about all the time, the connections that we make with each other are vital into being who we are. Yesterday at church, we had some baptisms, and I didn't hear Arthur at both services, but I'm assuming he said that this is something that we do it's a sacrament in the United Church. But part of our job as a church is to walk alongside these children and this family so that one day they can proclaim God for themselves. But it's our job to teach them the stories, to show them how to love, to show them how to be kind, to show them wisdom from the church so that they can then decipher that, make it a part of who they are, and proclaim it for themselves one day. Right? I used to teach a class on human sexuality for the church. And I remember somebody going, can't believe, like, for real, I can't believe the church is talking about that and embracing that. And I don't know. And I said, well, if the church doesn't, somebody else will, right? It's our job to be a part of these kids' lives and help them connect outside the church to inside the church. And the things that happen on a daily basis, to see the wisdom and the God that's in all of that. And so I recommend you spend some time in Proverbs. I'm going to pop these up on the screen again. I think I can do it. As I'm doing it, let me know what might connect with you. These are, they're just wiser than what. I'm going to try to make them bigger. I don't think that worked. Let me pop me out, see if I can make them bigger. Nope. That help? No. So I don't think I can make it bigger. Sorry, folks. But if you will just see, those who mock the poor and insult the maker, those who are glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Evil will not depart from the house of one who returns evil for good. He talks a lot about the difference between wisdom and power and evil and good and how to decipher these things. I'm going to keep going. Why should fools have a price in hand to buy wisdom when they have no mind to learn, right? Like, don't read a book if you don't want to. A friend loves at all times, and kinsfolk are born to share adversity, which is what I found interesting in this. I'm going to keep it up as I talk. Pop in the comments one that you either just the number by it or something that, but it is easier now. For my life, my family, I know they love me on my good days and my bad days. So it is, quote unquote, easier for me to sometimes go to friends and not go to family. Yet this talks about how, like, it's just easier sometimes to have strife with your family. I just love 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a downcast spirit dries up the bones. I mean, yeah. One who spares words is knowledgeable. One who is cool in spirit has understanding. I think a lot of these are reminding us being slow to words, to listen fully, to engage in the situation. So again, she says, when was the last time you made space for these moments? These shared experiences with our family, and I'll add our friends, but she's focusing on family in this, that just wouldn't happen otherwise. Like, my mom has been emailing and texting and talking about getting together in July. And getting together used to be super easy. It is no longer that. I work Saturday nights. My sister and her family has a busy schedule. My boys now work also outside the home. So it's like, sure, when do you want to do that? Like, it's cute. It's real cute, Mom. And we found a time. on a Saturday morning that we're going to get together for brunch, and it's going to be great. And we're going to celebrate my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday. We're going to celebrate my birthday. I think we're going to celebrate sending my kid off to college. And mainly we're just going to be together, right? Like, because we are so busy, it's easier to not be together. It takes effort and work and determination to spend time together. So as we go forth this week, I want you to think about what family member you might need to go have lunch with or connect with. It's so funny. I just got a text from somebody who doesn't know I'm doing this right now about how to connect with people in a lonely world. Hey, God. I call this God winks, God nudge. Who do you need to connect with this week? Start thinking about your family. My sister and I don't remember the last time the two of us were alone in a room together. Maybe we should go have dinner. That would be fun. Think about it. Who do you need to connect with? Both friends or family. And when you do connect, just listen. Spend time listening. This isn't like an exercise on imparting your wisdom. This is an exercising on connecting and making space for moments so that they can happen. Making space for moments so that they can happen. And throughout the week, let me know how you've done that so that we can share on that. You can either add comments to this video or I'll probably ask a question on our feed. So I'm going to end in prayer in just a second, but I want to remind y'all. So Mondays at 8 o'clock, we'll do this through July, and then we'll just see. You can use this book, you can buy this book, or you don't have to. I'm going to walk you through it each week. So I've enjoyed it. It's got some good nuggets. It's helped me a little bit. It's for a whole other time. But if you look at one of my posts that I did, it's been about prayer. And, there's just times that prayer is just abundant and easy and you feel connected to God. And there's just times where it's just kind of silent. And I feel like that's been my prayer life this summer. And so I've just kept praying. I think one of y'all said that. Just kept praying. So don't forget, on Mondays, we do prayers of joy and concern to share with the group. Usually on Fridays, you'll see a funny, like little question for you to answer. Then I've been trying to write a little post on Wednesdays, just, I don't know, my own nuggets of wisdom. Not that I feel like I'm King Solomon or anything like that. He does have, let me look it up real quick before I hang up. He talks about women in a positive way. Go King Solomon. 31 highlights what a virtuous woman is and how a godly man will benefit from her. And then also it talks about how this woman in Proverbs 31 is probably also works outside the home. So it's very interesting that this was a long, long time ago, but we always know women are great. Okay, well, thanks for joining us tonight. I hope to see you next week. If you forgot about it and you're catching it later, that's cool too. That's what we do. And I'll be back on a video for next Monday at 8 o'clock. Okay? Will you pray with me? Dear gracious and loving God, we are thankful for this community. Even though it is online, it still reminds us of the power of your word and your wisdom and your grace. Let us all feel that from our different rooms and phones and computers. And let us lean into who we need to connect with, who we need to make space for, to allow that connection to happen. We say this in your holy and precious name. Amen. Bye. Have a great week.